Hello, Angie Talks family. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may find yourself, depending on your time zone. This is Angie, your 21st century virtual nurse. When you call me 21st century virtual nurse, I will simply respond, Hello, how are you doing? I hope everybody is doing well. We're going to talk about mindset and how it affects every endeavor in our lives. So we will focus on fixed versus growth mindset. So let me start by saying from the shape of your skull to the size of your foot, your body's physical characteristics are more or less entirely predetermined from the start. Even though we can do plastic surgeries or when we break a bone, it can be fixed. But human beings in general have little control over our body's features. But what about intellectual and physical abilities like playing basketball, soccer, drawing, or solving math problems? Are they hereditary or learned? Today, most scientists agree that if you want to become a concert violinist, you not only need to have a musical disposition, but must dedicate years of your life to practicing. So, if you want to become good at something, it doesn't matter whether you are gifted, you still need to practice to to become to be to become outstanding, to stand out or outstanding in that field. There are many answers to these questions, as there are people for our mindset plays as there are people. Our mindset plays a crucial role in how we see ourselves and others. So in short, our mindset shapes our beliefs in accomplishing something. Those two extremes form the basis for the concept of a fixed versus a growth mindset. So it's talking about the fixed, and people with a fixed mindset believe they are born naturally gifted at doing some things, but utterly incapable of others. So they can say, "Oh, I'm really good at soccer, but I can't play volleyball," because they have a fixed mindset. But the people with growth mindset believe they can become good at anything if they try hard or they work at it, try hard enough. They can be good at anything they set their minds up to do. So the people in the latter group, which is the growth mindset, they continue to grow throughout their lives. They acquire new skills without reservation and actively engage in their relationships. For them, life in all its facets is in a constant state of change. For them, life is not static, it's dynamic, it changes. So you have to move with the trend, you have to change. Like after the COVID, this is a new world. Things have changed. Things are not the way they used to be before. So if your mindset is still pre-COVID, then you will be left behind in a few couple of years, like 4, 5, 10 years. A lot of things will be you become redundant, simply put. By contrast, people with a fixed mindset often let their black and white way of thinking obstruct their development. If they fail at something, they bury their heads in the sand or blame others. Oh, we see that a lot in our community. We like the blame games a lot. We blame others for our misfortunes, and if we don't work hard to achieve something, it's somebody else's fault. So this we hope for everlasting love in our relationship rather than working on the relationships themselves. We People with fixed mindset to have sense of entitlement. They think everything should be at their beck and call, while they don't want to work hard for it. So our mindset shapes whether we believe we can learn and change and grow or not. So people with a fixed mindset believe that talent is king. They believe, oh, I'm a natural talker, so I don't need to have any training about public speaking. They believe talent is king. Whatever talent they were born with, I'm a good artist. I'm a good actor or actress, so I don't need to have a coach to train me, or I sing really well. How many people have voice coaches? A lot of musicians don't have. They don't even know what it's called, voice coaching. You might have the voice, but if you have a voice coach, that will take you higher, right? So this growth mindset, in their view, a person's abilities, the fixed mindset, they believe if you have a fixed mindset, you believe a person's or your abilities are set in stone from the get-go. A person is by nature either intelligent and talented or stupid and incompetent and will stay that way. That's how people with fixed mindset think. They think it's either you know it or you don't know. They don't know that you can learn and work hard towards something to become an expert in that field. They think, oh, I was just born with it, so that's it. If I don't know, I don't know. They are the ones who don't see they don't see potentials in people. They just see, oh, this is a smart boy, or this person is not smart, so they won't even give you the chance to prove yourself. Unfortunately, most companies, high companies, also make the same mistakes. They go to the universities and look for the very brilliant students, employ them into their work, and they think because they have a mind that these graduates are brilliant, they expect them to perform miracles and boost their company's performance without giving them any training. So eventually, these graduates don't progress at their jobs to grow into new roles. As a result, their superiors evaluate them constantly. They evaluate these graduates constantly without giving them any training at it. So, as these grads usually are smart, are these grads usually are they really smart as they thought, or do their errors reveal that they lack the talent to get the jobs done? That is how their superiors see them. They just bring them and expect them to perform really, really well. And they are on a constant survey. They constantly evaluate them to see if they are really, really smart, they are doing the job. So people with a fixed mindset think that employees who are not perfect from day one will never be. Best so it's best to let them go quickly. Moreover, people with a fixed mindset believe they can only do things they show a natural aptitude for. That that practice certainly does not make perfect. They don't believe that practice makes perfect. Since they are quick to judge themselves and other people as being good or bad at something, they assume others are judging them all the time too. Thus, they feel the need to show how talented and smart they are. They are every chance they get. Like that, do you know who I am, people? I'm the CEO of this. I'm the HR. They believe either you know it or don't know it. So because of their mindset, they think everybody is also judging them, as they tend to be very judgmental. So every little opportunity they get, they want to show off how smart or intelligent or talented they are. They believe their entire personality is at stake. One slip up could be enough to brand them as incompetent fools for life. That's their belief. And they constantly seek approval from others to protect their egos and confirm that they really are as great as they think they are. So growth and development are possible in the growth mindset. The mindset affects everything you do in terms of your attitude, behavior. It affects your actions and solutions, and then results like your performance. Everything is like your good mindset will affect your performance, your attitude, behavior, action, and solution, and then the result. Your results will depend on whether you have a fixed or growth mindset. When children with a growth mindset are given a difficult math problem to solve at school, they jump to the challenge and want to do more problems just like it at home. That is children with growth mindset. They recognize that the more problems they solve, the more they learn. Like practice makes perfect. The sky is the limit when it comes to life's possibility for children with a growth mindset. It's hard to define their precise degree of intelligence today, let alone predict what it may be tomorrow. Their grades reflect their status at one moment in time, but these kids believe they can learn more with hard work, dedication, and perseverance. So they persevere, depending, doesn't even matter their grades. They think they can do more with hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Also, they are not interested in getting the highest grades or being better than other students. That's children with growth mindset. They want to feel the satisfaction of pushing themselves to the limit of their growth potential. Whether music or sport, writing or drawing, they practice relentlessly and are quite aware that it is only through practice and the occasional failure that they can improve their skills. So they understand sometimes too they can fail, and through the failure they can learn to improve their skills. People with a growth mindset relish any opportunity to learn tricks from the cream de la cream in the field. So they take if they are in a company, they take any opportunity to learn from the best in their field. They consider and discard strategies used in the past and are always thinking about how they can eradicate their faults and weakness. So they don't have time to blame others. They look at their fault and how they can fix it. In their relationships, if they are in a relationship, these people with positive or growth mindset, they encourage their partners to continue learning and working on themselves. If you are in a relationship with a person with a growth mindset, as they are advancing themselves, they will also encourage you to do something for yourself. When they play sport, they play knowing they are serving the team. The team. They are team players as well. If it's a soccer, they wouldn't think of scoring the goal. If they score the goal, it's good, but they will pass to another person who has a potential of scoring the goal. They are not selfish. They are good team players. When they run a business, they show their employees respect, are grateful for their work, and ask for their honest opinion on things. So they take criticism and feedback in good stride. However inconvenient the truth may be, they take it. People with a growth mindset welcome problems and see them as challenges, not surmountable obstacles. They see problems as challenges, not as obstacles. They willingly put their energy into bettering themselves and the world around them. So growth and developments are possible in the growth mindset. Let's talk about people with fixed mindset. People with a fixed mindset seek approval. Those with a growth mindset seek development. So people with a fixed mindset, they seek approval. They're always worried about what people will say. They always want to hear the good things. They are not open to criticism or constructive feedback. That's the difference between the growth and the fixed mindset. An example of a fixed mindset person will be a CEO whose company is at the brink of collapse, and then thanks to his or her swift decision making and good feel for employees, he or she has just been able to bring the company back to life. But afterwards, his behavior has changed, his behavior has changed abruptly, and he has started resting on his laurels, flaunting his or her superiority and putting more energy into her or her own image than into the company's welfare. His or her sole objective has become to seek approval from others. If the CEO exhibits such behavior, it's a fixed mindset. If he begins to classify everything as either good or bad, and you feel like others are scrutinizing you, labeling you as a winner or loser, it's most likely you would like to be a winner, and you would try to appear as intelligent and talented as possible instead of finding ways to improve your company, right? So that's a fixed mindset. That's how a CEO with a fixed mindset will behave after everything starts to go on well with the company. On the contrary, if a growth mindset CEO who realize his or her company is going down, let me use the he so it will be easy for me. A CEO, a growth mindset CEO, if he realizes his company is going down, he will break down the company's hierarchies and emphasize on teamwork. And he will reward employees who support their co-workers. He will also open up communication pathways throughout the company by putting himself on the same level as his employees. This will enable him to establish personal contact with as many employees as possible in a short period of time. So a growth mindset will enable him to create a new work environment based on teamwork and development. The focus will move away from individual success and towards shared development. Based on this concept, the CEO would be able to bring about lasting success at the company. So people with a fixed mindset seek approval, while those with a growth mindset seek development. If you are a fixed mindset, you see failure as a disaster, while the person with a growth mindset sees them as opportunities. So failure has dramatic repercussions for people with a fixed mindset. Like, for instance, let's take like a soccer player. When he is having a bad day, he will just keep pushing, even though he will just keep pushing until something happens. He will just keep pushing himself, and try to hold the team. He wouldn't let whatever is affecting him have a repercussion or a bad repercussion on the team, because soccer is a team sport. Soccer is a team sport. So you, as your individual problems cannot affect the team. So a growth mindset player will just put all his individual feelings aside and help the team perform. People with a fixed mindset do not believe they can learn from their mistakes. They see a single failure as evidence that they will be losers forever. One defeat negates and devalues all past successes. That's very unfortunate. In order to preserve whatever little left confidence they have, people with a fixed mindset make excuses, cheat or lose interest, and look the other way. They do not seek help to analyze their weakness. No, they don't seek help. And they certainly do not try to get better by practicing. They think they are whatever talent they have is inborn, so they don't believe in practice. They see themselves as a finished product, not a continual process. If you have a fixed mindset, it's a very negative thing. You will be stagnant. You will move. Nothing will seem possible. Like this person, the one and the bridge behind him is in, and this one is possible. We are not going to jump bridge like this, but it's just an illustration that with a growth mindset, anything is possible. Let's take Michael Jordan, for instance. There were periods he did not dunk every ball he touched. He flubbed a good 26 potentially winning shot. However, rather than sticking his head in the sand, he practiced the shot he missed over and over again. By the end of his career, he had the best shooting techniques of anybody on the court. So Michael Jordan obviously had a growth mindset. Rather than finding fault in his teammate or the court flaws, he looked for ways to improve his own skills and game. He analyzed his mistakes, practiced even harder than before, and took advice from other people. He firmly believed that he could transform his defeats into victories as long as he tried hard enough. So he saw opportunity in his failures rather than a disaster because he has a growth mindset. So people with a fixed mindset avoid difficulties. Those with a growth mindset relish them. There are many things in life we can only achieve with effort. Yet when people with a fixed mindset are faced with a difficult situation, all they can see are risks because the more time and energy they invest in something, the fewer excuses they have if they fail. Plus, they believe in the enormous power of natural talent. Gifted people should not need to try so hard. This is very common too in our communities. You see people, I'm a star, I'm I'm an actor. I've been acting since I was a child, or I've been singing since I was a child. They have no training, so they come, we hail them for a couple of months or years, and then we don't hear about them anymore. So this way of thinking make it impossible for people with a fixed mindset to better themselves without questioning their own talents. If they don't seek for help because they think they are all in all. And also they avoid difficult situations. If you think you are born as an actor and you are the best, it doesn't allow you to humble yourself and seek training from professionals because you think you are naturally talented. They do not want to potentially make a fool of themselves. They think, no, I can't be bothered. I can't make a fool of myself. They think by seeking help and having feedback is making a fool of themselves. Like people giving them feedback. Feedback can be we can always praise you. We can give you constructive feedback or constructive criticism. They don't want to hear none of that. People with positive or growth mindset think anything is impossible, even if they've been told or it's been shown that nothing can be possible. The the very thing they are trying cannot be possible. They would strive and push themselves. Who remember the actor Christopher Reeve? May his soul rest in peace. He had a growth mindset after he paralyzed from neck down. From neck down, he had a positive a growth mindset. Said he would have remained completely paralyzed from the neck down for the rest of his life. His doctors told him they predicted after his accident. I think he fell from a horse that he will be paralyzed from the neck down. But he had a growth mindset. So rather than passively accepting his fate, he took control of his situation. He underwent a strenuous training program, and then the impossible happened. Contrary to all diagnoses, he moved his hands. I watched that interview on Larry King show a couple of years ago. Then his legs and finally his entire upper body. He fell from a horse, I think from C1 to the rest of his body, and he was like, you cannot move with such an injury as the doctors predicted. But he didn't give up. Even though he did not get up and walk, he moved a finger and his neck, and as per what I read, his his legs as well. So challenges give people with a growth mindset the opportunity to pursue purpose-filled actions. The more dejected they are, the more energy they put into fighting against and rewriting their fate. So Christopher Reeve put energy in his dejection and rewrote his fate. Like Reeve, they strive to make the impossible possible. Our mindset is often strongly influenced by the role models we had as children. What factors determine whether a person has a growth or fixed mindset? And what factors determine whether a person realizes his potential or spends his life treading water? Look at this picture here. What does it tell you? You see, the person with a fixed mindset is stuck at one place or even going down, and the person with a growth mindset is developing. So if some people are so stuck in their old ways of doing things, they will tell you, oh, this is how my great grandmother did it, and my grandmother did it too, and my mom taught me the same thing, and I'm doing it the same way. That is our family tradition. So our mindset is often grossly influenced by the role models we had as children. What factors determine whether a person has a growth or a fixed mindset? Like I talked about, mindset development begins at birth. Babies come into the world with a growth mindset. They want to learn and grow as much as possible each day. The adult in the child's environment, usually his or her parents, play a huge role in determining whether the child maintains this desire to grow or eventually adapt a fixed mindset. Simply put, parents set a mindset example for their children. Parents with a growth mindset encourage their children and urge them to continue learning, whereas those with a fixed mindset are always judging their children, telling them what is right or wrong, good or bad. So we should allow the children to grow, make their mistakes, ask questions rather than just telling them, I'm your mother, so what I say is what you will do. That doesn't work again in the 21st century. If you're training your child like this, you are making him or her timid. So please, let's put an end to it and realize children also have their brains. They can make their own decisions too. We just need to guide them. Babies aged between 1 and 3 already behave accordingly. Growth mindset babies will try to help another baby who is crying. Fixed mindset babies, by contrast, are annoyed by it. So teachers are also very important role models and influence children's mindset. They are There are many teachers who believe that a student's performance is unchangeable. If your child's teacher is like this, you have to do something about it. Either change the school or talk to the administrate the administration, because that will not allow your child to grow. That good students will continue to do well and weaker students will always get C's or D's. Weaker students will develop a fixed mindset as a result of the teacher's bad attitude. So don't allow any teacher to put a limit on your child. But good teachers, those who firmly believe their students are capable of learning anything, handle the situation differently. They handle the situation differently. They don't put limits on any child. They grow their students different ways of solving math problems or understanding Shakespeare. I remember I had a math tutor in secondary school. I didn't like math, just like many people. And I never liked this teacher because he comes to class and says the brilliant ones are always brilliant. Like, what do you mean? Their weaker students embrace a growth mindset and start getting better grades. That is, if you have a good a growth mindset teacher, they will encourage you, they'll embrace you to grow. They are no longer doomed of thinking of themselves as dumb by nature. If your child is in school with a teacher with a growth mindset, he or she will change your child's mindset to embrace themselves, and then they will no longer think of themselves as dumb. They will do well. So our mindset is not entirely predetermined. It can change as early as childhood when we adopt the mindset of our role model. So your environment has a big influence on your mindset as well. If you grow up in a place where everybody is negative, all they know is the one way, no, it's their way or the highway, you will grow up with a fixed mindset. Change your mindset and the results will follow. So anyone can adapt a growth mindset and make the impossible possible. Like here, you can make the impossible possible. Nobody has to be a victim of her surroundings when developing her own mindset. The brain can be trained like any other muscle. If we want a growth mindset, we can teach ourselves to think that way, one step at a time. Here's an example. You accidentally drop a plate on the floor. The first fixed thought might be, I'm so clumsy. But people who are conscious of the reaction and want to change it it can't and want to change it can't push themselves to adopt a growth mindset by thinking, oh well, these things happen, I will clean it up and be more careful next time. Working towards a growth mindset presents a great opportunity to teach out to others for support, to talk about our faults and mistakes, and to make viable, concrete plans for achieving our goals. So it is important to understand that a fixed mindset is not easy to kick. It's not easy to kick a fixed mindset, especially if you've grown up in an environment where it's just one way of thinking. It has likely become an emotional crutch over the years. It protects us from failure, creates recognition in the eyes of our parents and partners, and boosts our self-confidence. So it's not easy to change a fixed mindset. It comforts us time and again. So getting rid of it can be extremely discomforting. Let's say, for instance, if all you do is, oh, Akusia, can you get this for me? Yes, mom. Akusia, can you do? Once you start to change your mindset, it's going to be difficult for you and the people around you. They might think, oh, what are you doing? You are changing, you are becoming rude or stubborn. Like, even if you are in a group and you all agree on things, but you realize, no, this is not for me, I have to grow, they will think, oh, you don't want to belong anymore, you want to distance yourself. It's not comfortable. It's not going to be easy, but you have to get rid of it. In truth, it's not necessary to give up a fixed mindset altogether. As long as we adopt the growth perspective in certain situations, it's usually enough. We can completely get rid of it, but you have to, if you can adopt the growth perspective, that's okay. It's usually enough. Even if a person believes he is a lost cause when it comes to sport, he could still be making leaps and bounds at work every day. Like, if you don't need to be a basketball player to play basketball for fun or for leisure. So adopting a growth mindset in any field enables us to make the impossible possible, like the Christopher Reeve story I narrated, and to continue improving our talents and abilities like Michael Jordan did. In this regard, the growth mindset is the key to self-fulfillment. The growth mindset is the key to self-fulfillment. So change your mindset and the result will follow. So people with a fixed mindset obstruct their own development through their belief in innate talent. They think they are born with whatever they have. So if they don't have it, they wouldn't even bother to learn new talent or new stuff. So they believe in innate talent and their fear of failure. They are afraid of failure. Failure strengthens us. It makes us realize our mistakes, and then we work hard towards rectifying it. On the contrary, people with a growth mindset work hard and train hard to ultimately realize their potential to the fullest. By confronting our own attitudes and ideas, we can develop a growth mindset. So we have to confront our own attitudes and ideas so that we can develop a growth mindset. How do people differ in their mindset? Our mindset shapes whether we believe we can learn and change and grow or not. An individual's abilities are set in stone in the fixed mindset. In the fixed mindset, their abilities are set in stone, so there's no room for change. Growth and development are possible in the growth mindset, but it's stuck in the fixed mindset. So people with a fixed mindset seek approval Those with a growth mindset seek development. The fixed mindset sees failure as disasters, while the growth mindset sees them as opportunities. People with a fixed mindset avoid difficulties. Those with a growth mindset relish them. Our mindset is often strongly influenced by the role models we had as children. Anyone can adopt a growth mindset and make the impossible possible. Okay, so anybody can adapt a growth mindset and make the impossible possible. Before I end, let's do some motivation before we go. Aim for the sun and you won't be able, not even one shadow. Love the life you live so you can live the life you wish. Surround yourself with positive people and believe you will be one of them. The most important thing is to enjoy your life. Being happy, that's the only thing that matters. If you think you know it all, you will never know anything. When things go wrong, don't go with them. Winning without risk is triumphing without glory. If we master our mind, we can find true fulfillment. Everything you can imagine can become reality. True triumph rises from the ashes of error. Believe you can, and you are halfway there. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. That's your competition. If you feel like giving up, just look back on how far you are already. You have to be at your strongest when you are feeling at your weakest. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Never give up. Great things take time. Be patient. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. The key to success is to focus on goals, not obstacles. Sometimes we are tested not to show our weakness, but to discover our strength. Don't wait for opportunities, create it. It's going to be hard, but hard does not mean impossible. Little things make big days. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. Let me end here and say that this page name is Angie Talks on Facebook and Angie Talks One TV on YouTube. Bye for now, everybody.